Were you there when they crucified my Lord? Where were you? Where were you, Job? You were a righteous and upright man. Answer, if you can. Then the Lord answered Job out of the whirlwind and said, Who is this that darkeneth counsel by words without knowledge? Gird up your loins like a man, for I will demand of you, and answer you me. Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Tell me if you have understanding. Who laid the measures thereof, if you know, and who stretched the line upon it? Where are the foundations thereof fastened? And who laid the cornerstone thereof? When the morning stars sang together, and all the sons of God shouted for joy? Or who shut up the sea with doors, when it broke forth as if it had issued out of the womb? When I made the clouds the garment thereof, and thick darkness a swaddling band for it, and broke up for it my decreed place, and set bars and doors, and said, Hitherto shalt thou come, and no further, and here shall thy proud waves be stayed. Have you commanded the morning since the days, and caused the dayspring to know his place, that it might take hold of the ends of the earth, that the wicked might be shaken out of it? It is turned as clay to the seal, and they stand as a garment. And from the wicked their light is withholden, and the high arm shall be broken. Hast thou entered into the springs of the sea? Or hast thou walked in search of the darkness or the depth? Have the gates of death been opened unto thee? Or hast thou seen the doors of the shadow of death? Have you perceived the breadth of the earth? Tell me if you know it all. Where is the way of light? Hast thou perceived the dwelling of darkness? Where is the place thereof? That thou shouldest take it to the bound thereof, and that thou shouldest know the paths to the house thereof. Knowest thou it because thou wert born then, or because you are so old and so full of days? Have you entered into the treasures of the snow? Or have you seen the treasures of the hail, which I have reserved against the time of trouble, against the day of battle and war? By what way is the light parted, which scattereth the east wind upon the earth? Who has divided a watercourse for the overflowing of waters, or a way for the lightning and thunder, to cause it to rain on the earth where no man is, on the wilderness wherein there is no man, to satisfy the desolate and waste ground, and to cause the bud of the tender herb to spring forth? Does the rain have a father? And who has begotten the drops of dew? Out of whose womb came the ice and the hoary frost of heaven? Who has garnered it? The waters are laid hid as with a stone, and the face of the deep is frozen. Canst thou bind the sweet influences of the Pleiades, or loose the bands of Orion? Canst thou bring forth Mazzaroth in his season, or canst thou guide Arcturus and his sons? Knowest thou the ordinances of heaven? Canst thou set the dominion thereof in the earth? Canst thou lift up thy voice to the clouds, that abundance of waters may cover thee? Canst thou send lightning, that they may go and say unto thee, Here we are? Who has put wisdom in the inward parts? And who has given understanding to the heart? Who can number the clouds in wisdom? Or who can stay the bottles of heaven? When the dust groweth into hardness, and the clods cleave fast together, wilt thou hunt prey for the lion? Or will the appetite of the young lions, when they crouch in their dens, and abide in the covert to lie in wait? Who provideth for the ravens his food, when his young ones cry unto God? They wander for lack of meat. Tell me if you know. Amen and amen. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading of his word.